Hey everybody, it's Ryan Greenberg from NEMSMA Spotlight here in Lee County with Ben. Thanks so much for having us here. And so Ben, Chief, tell us a little bit about Lee County EMS and the public safety in your organization, and tell our members kind of who you are and what's going on.
Sure. Well, we are the Department of Public Safety here in Lee County, located in Southwest Florida. The Division of Emergency Medical Services, which is formerly known as Lee County EMS, is just one component of a number of programs within the Department of Public Safety. Lee County is home to about 720,000 permanent residents, but we welcome about 4 million visitors to our community every year. So it's a very vibrant, robust community, and there's a lot of people that are coming and joining the Southwest Florida lifestyle and enjoying it, especially this time of year when it's starting to snow up north.
Well, I know I'm coming down from New York, so when I got off the plane and my glasses fogged up because it was so warm, it was a nice change in temperature and pace. So I'd imagine that that's also a little bit of a challenge sometimes, that the amount of seasonal change in population. I know it's not one of our questions on our spotlight, but how do you handle that, such a spike in population and change?
Well, it's one of the issues that we have to manage very carefully, and we have our permanent residents, which of course have this underlying constant level of activity or volume within the system. But then, of course, this time of year when it starts to get colder up north and we get a lot more seasonal residents that come down, whether they come down for 6 months or they come down for a number of weeks at a time, those residents cause additional volume into the system. And our system is designed to handle the underlying permanent resident volume as well as the surge in our tourist season. And those 4 million visitors are really spread throughout the year. But we do see a pretty significant increase, 20 to 30% of our volume spikes during that tourist season.
When it's cold up north.
Absolutely.
So how long have you been a member of NEMSMA, and kind of what's your thoughts on that part?
Sure. I joined NEMSMA 3 years ago. That was one of the first things that I was encouraged to do when I entered my position as the operations chief at the time. And it was a really interesting opportunity to be able to learn more about what was going on in EMS nationally. And I think that's one of the things that I enjoy the most, is that I am engaged and involved in a lot of state organizations and organizations at a regional level, but to hear the feedback and hear the news going on at a national level is really important, especially for EMS leaders across the country.
Thanks, and that's definitely a big reason on why I'm down here this week. We got some interesting stuff that I'm sure we'll come into, but it is about with NEMSMA and finding out kind of not just what's going on in your hometown, your state, your region, but what other people are doing, and what are some of those ideas that we can take back to other places. So what do you think is something that Lee County's Public Safety Division is doing differently or unique or innovative to help you as an agency and to succeed into the future?
I think a great example is the reason that brings you down here to Southwest Florida today, and that's our Leadership Academy. For the last 3 years, we have developed a Leadership Academy that's run here in-house. It is a week-long program, 40 hours. We take EMS employees that are on ambulances, employees in our other public safety divisions, which is communications, emergency management, E911 networking, information technology, all those different divisions. Also, some external partners send candidates to this academy as well. And it's a week-long class to help build leadership skills within the employees in our workforce. And it's, I think, an important step to building the succession necessary to keep the organization going in the future.
And is this a brand new class, or is this something that's been going on for a while? Or
It's been going on for about 3 years. We do about 2 classes a year, and every time we do a class, we do a hot wash afterwards, and it changes and tweaks a little bit just as we get the feedback from the students. But now it's really refined, and we get really, really good feedback and results from those employees that go through the class.
That's terrific. I know in leadership in a number of organizations I've been with that it's a challenge. We promote from within. We're excited to promote people up, but that education to how to be a leader sometimes is a gap, and it's something that we work hard with. It seems like you found a nice solution to, or at least something to help in a large amount of way. What's something, and this could be the same answer, but what's something you think you're most proud of with your EMS operations in your department?
I think as far as EMS goes, I'm definitely most proud of our personnel. Whether it is our seasonal influx or the challenges with the hospital systems or changes in our patient population, our personnel are not just very flexible, but they are exceptionally skilled. and very, very good at what they do. And that's one of the things that I think I'm really most proud of, is that whether it's providing medical care or simply providing that additional ear that a patient might need to some comfort on the way to the hospital or at a scene, our people really hit it out of the park each and every day, and we're really proud of them.
That's awesome. Congrats on that. What do you think, and I've met a lot of your leadership team now, being at the Leadership Academy and seeing how a lot of your lieutenants and your captains and your deputy chiefs, different people are coming in to speak. It seems like you have a pretty well put together leadership team. What do you think made that happen, or how did you build such a strong leadership team?
Our leadership team has really been kind of in flux for the last couple of years, with some people retiring and people coming and going. And one of the things that I think has been really key to keeping that continuity has been trust. When we go into simple decisions and discussions to the most complex decisions and discussions, everybody around the table knows that there's mutual trust that extends amongst every division, amongst every office within the Division of Emergency Medical Services. We all trust each other, and we all know that if we don't necessarily agree with something, that we're open to speak our mind, and we encourage it, because we want to hear what everybody thinks and perceives, so that we can make better decisions. And I think that's really important, is to establish and grow that trust. And that's not something like you walk in and just say, hey, we all trust each other, we're good. That is built over weeks and months and years of getting that team together and having those.
So what are some words of encouragement you think you'd have for an aspiring leader, or even an agency, a leadership team that you've learned from over the years, and you would say, hey, here's some words of wisdom from Lee County to the rest of the country?
I think one of the things that we have really tried to focus on the last 12 to 18 months is knowing our business. We do a lot of different things, but at the end of the day, we're an EMS agency. We take care of patients. We do all kinds of really cool things. We've got a bike team, we've got an honor guard, we've got air medical, we've got all these different groups and subsets and different things that we reach out to do. But at the end of the day, it comes down to the next tone that goes off, that next patient interaction, and making sure not only that the entire system is ready, but that individual provider, whether it's 3 in the afternoon or 3 in the morning, that they're going to be ready to go out there and engage that patient and do the right thing by the patient medically, and also through whatever other needs might arise during that patient contact. And I think that's not necessarily easy to do when you have a lot of competing priorities and things that you've got to work through, but knowing your business and focusing on your core competencies to say, these are the things that we're just going to be really, really good at.
That's awesome. What's an idea or a concept that you feel would be valuable for new leaders, or a recommendation you'd give for a new leader? I guess, what's a recommendation you'd give to a new leader to say, hey, here's how you can succeed as a leader, or at least help you move to the next level?
Sure. Well, I'm new in my position. I've been in my position about 4 months now.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And one of the things that I have learned is that while it's good for me to think and consider things, I have to get a lot of voices around me, and good voices. Again, going back to that trust, is that we don't. It's very easy for me to sit at a desk and make decisions, but it's much better if I go out and get feedback on those decisions, if I include the entire team on decisions. I find that things, not only do we get buy-in then, but also, again, it refines those decisions and it creates a dialogue that's not only beneficial to that decision, but it's beneficial to the team environment. And it's very easy, I think, as a newer leader, as I am, getting into an organization, a large organization where you've got a lot of things on your plate, to just shut the door and start working on issues and working on things. It's a lot harder to then open that door, get a bunch of people in a room and discuss stuff. But it's really important to have a chorus of voices around you to help you weigh different decisions and options and figure out the best way to get things done.
And not always necessarily the easier path to get feedback,
Absolutely.
but an important one. And I think it says a lot. I think even it says a lot. Maybe you'll agree or disagree with me, between the difference between a manager and a leader. And the leader will take a little bit more extra effort to try and get some feedback from around them. And What would you
than
say to
just
someone
jumping
who's
from-
thinking about becoming a member or thinking about becoming more active in NEMSMA? What's some suggestions or feedback you give them about being a participant?
I would strongly encourage it. Like I said, when we opened up, we have a great regional conversation amongst local chiefs and organizations, and we have a very robust state, the state EMS committees and the advisory council. But the one thing that I really enjoy from NEMSMA is that you do get that national picture, and you get to hear a lot about what agencies outside of your local area are doing. And it's really cool not just to hear what other agencies in Florida are doing, but what an agency in New York or New Jersey or Minnesota or California, where all these different agencies, they share their news, they share their information through NEMSMA, and you get a much better picture of what some of the most innovative agencies in the country are doing, and it's really helpful. And I think the second half of that would be the advocacy. To be part of an organization that helps advocate for EMS providers is very, very important, and that's another important consideration when you're thinking about joining NEMSMA.
Terrific. Thanks so much. And I guess kind of on a final note, so if people want to learn more about Lee County Public Safety and your multiple divisions and what's going on and kind of who you are and what you're about, or maybe even coming down and being, a new provider as you go and you're growing, where can they find out more information and reach out to people?
You can go to www.leegov.com, and you'll find the Department of Public Safety under the department listing. And also on that website is all of our job boards and postings, information about the organization, our medical protocols as well.
Terrific. And you'll see it right below if it's not there already, but www.leegov.com. So a little bit different. Excellent. And if you're a member of NEMSMA or you're not a member of NEMSMA or you just want to find out more about NEMSMA, that's www.nemsma.org. We'd love to hear from you, and hopefully, if you have any other questions, send them towards either direction, towards NEMSMA or towards Lee County. Ben, I really appreciate you having a few minutes for us, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Great. Thank you.
Have a great day. Have a good one, everyone. See you at the next Spotlight.